Hey guys, it's the Drabble Geek here, and welcome back to another Pokemon unboxing video where I have another set of Pokemon cards, and I'm gonna have fun with it because that's all I can do. Um, but yeah, this one looks like packaged, multiple layered packaging, so this might take me a bit to open. We'll see how well I do. I might need my scissors. Wait. Yep. Right. Come on. Wait, is this still the same level? Okay, there we go. Oh, it's a bag. There we go. Now, this, I'm guessing? Yeah, this is saran wrap. Right. I mean, stayed safe, so it worked. But I'm struggling to open. Right, do I feel the cards? I feel the cards. This is the last one. Oop. Oh, and there's something in a sleeve? Two somethings in a sleeve? Alright, we'll do those last. Those must be the special cards. Right, let me throw this plastic away. And we'll get started. Alright, so our first card is a Gothorita? Yeah, I think a Gothorita. I only know this one because, as I was saying previously, I think I at least said previously in the video, you'll see that I'm playing Shield, and the worst character, Bebe, has one of these. I can one-shot her though, so it's fine. Alright, next we have Ball Guy, also from Shield. I have made sure to talk to him every single time I see him, so I always get special stuff. Search your deck for up to 3 different item cards that have the word ball in their name. Reveal them and put them into your hand. Then shuffle your deck. Yeah, that sounds like Ball Guy. Alright, next I have a Rusted Sword. Ironic given that I've been talking about Sword and Shield, and the Pokemon associated do look like dogs. Sorry. So I'm wondering if this is literally from Shield. Hopefully, no spoilers though. The attack of Zakin V. This card is do attached to do 30 more damage to your opponent's active Pokemon before applying weaknesses in resistance. Yeah, so I wonder if this is a reference to Sword and Shield. Maybe. Alright, next we have a Eldegoss. I have not caught one of these yet in Shield, though. Mainly because I just passed by it. Alright, the cotton on the head of this Pokemon can be spun into a glossy, gorgeous yarn, a Galar regional specialty. Next, we have another Rusted Sword. Next, we have a Cramorant, the dodo of the world, I suppose. This hungry Pokemon swallows Aridus whole. Occasionally it makes a mistake and tries to swallow a Pokemon other than its preferred prey. Did I read some of these other ones? No. I forgot to read Gothorita. Alright. It said that when stars shine in the night sky, this Pokemon will spirit away sleeping children. Some call it the Witch of Punishment. That explains why Bebe has it. I just went on my tangent about Bebe and didn't pay attention. Alright, next we have another Ball Guy. Next, we have a Floatzel. Oop. Need to get reused to showing my stuff to the camera. It's been a little bit. Its flotation sac developed as a result of pursuing aquatic prey. It can double as a rubber raft. Alright, next we have a Dartrix, which just looks like a barn owl. It throws one knife-like feather after another at its enemies, and each one precisely strikes a weak point. These feathers are known as blade quills. They look like literal arrows in the picture, but I wonder if that's on purpose. Alright, next we have a Rotom. Ah, there we go. One boy's invention led to the development of many different machines that take advantage of Rotom's unique capabilities. I would love to learn more about that. I've not heard that one. I have a couple of different Rotoms, and the game has a couple of different Rotoms, so that makes sense. But this is the first time I've heard some lore like that. Alright, next we have a Tentacruel hiding in the depths. It communicates with others of its kind by lighting up the red orbs on its head. When the orbs are blinking, it's a warning sign. I mean, that is usually what red lights mean. Alright, next we have Copycat. So, I think this is a reference to Shield, because I think this looks like the champion. This looks like one of my favorite characters in the game who has the 50/50 Pikachu type creature, Marito, I think. And this, no, sorry, this looks like the chairman in the game. I have no clue who is in the middle though. Shuffle your hand into your deck, then draw a card for each card in your opponent's hand. Alright. Next, we have Dinia's Resolve. You can play this card only if you discard 2 other cards from your hand. Draw a card for each of your opponent's Pokémon in play. Yeah, I have no clue who she is. Alright, next we have another Copycat. Next, Rapid Strike Scroll of the Flying Dragon. Interesting. The Rapid Strike Pokemon this card is attached to can use the attack on this card. You will still need the necessary energy to use this attack. And it does 90 damage, but you have to completely restart it. So like it will take at least maybe 2 turns, I think, to get the energy you need for that one. Alright, next we have a Gleescore. Looks like a bat, kind of. Bat Scorpion. Its flight is soundless. It uses its lengthy tail to carry off its prey. Then its elongated fangs do the rest. Sounds about right. Alright, next we have a Mandibuzz. Looks kind of like a vulture or condor. I get those confused. They adorn themselves with bones. There seem to be a fashion trends among them, as different bones come into and fall out of popularity. Interesting. But I think that's just birds in general. Alright, next we have Karina's Focused. This also says Rapid Strike, so if that is a game, I don't know what that is. Or I haven't played it. Well, I both don't know what it is, and I haven't played it. Draw cards until you have 6 cards in your hand. Cool. Alright, next we have a Heatmore. This one's just looking sassily at us. A flame serves as its tongue, melting through the hard shell of Durant so that Heatmore can devour their insides. Lovely. Alright, next we have a Spewpa? A Spewpa, I think. The beaks of bird Pokemon can't begin to scratch its stalwart body. To defend itself, it spews powder. It kind of looks like Togepi, like the body portion of it. Definitely not the head, that looks more like a bird. But I'm getting kind of like Togepi vibes from like the body. Alright, next we have another Gilscore. Let's see if this one has a different description. It does not, same description, so I'm just going to move on. Alright, next we have another Dartrix. Next we have a Tropus. It looks like a Bronchiosaurus mixed with a tree. Bunches of delicious fruit grow around its neck. In warm areas, many ranches raise Tropus. Yeah, I'm giving Brontosaurus plus tree. Alright, next we have a Luxio, everyone's favorite cat type creature. Strong electricity courses through the tips of its sharp claws. A light scratch causes fainting in foes. Alright, next we have Gym Trainer. I don't necessarily recognize those outfits. At least not maybe yet. Actually, no. This might be Shield as well. It kind of looks like that one gym that I did a couple ago, I think was a fire gym. Kind of looks like that because you have to run in the grass and defeat a bunch of Pokemon for points. And that's how you get to the main gym leader. Draw 2 cards. If any of your Pokemon were knocked out during your opponent's last turn, draw 2 more cards. Alright, next we have a Galvantula, our favorite handed spider. Wait, is it a spider? No, it's not a spider. It only has 6 legs. It's an electric bug, not a spider. It launches electrified fur from its abdomen as its means of attack. Opponents hit by the fur could be in for 3 full days and nights of paralysis. But what about the Pokemon it's facing? Because I just take them to Nurse Joy and everything's fine. Alright, next we have League Staff. Definitely a Shield reference. Recognize these characters. Well, their character designs. Pretty sure there's multiple of these people just placed around the world. Draw 2 cards. If Wydon Stadium is in play, draw 2 more cards. Alright, next we have a Buffalant? I think a Buffalant, maybe. It's definitely a buffalo. They charge wildly and headbutt everything. Their headbutts have enough destructive force to derail a train. That's terrifying. Alright, next we have Rusted Shield. We've had this one before, but now that I'm playing Shield, I actually recognize it. The Zamazintha V this card is attached to gets plus 70 HP. So that makes sense. The short does more damage. The shield gets more health. Alright, next we have a Palpitoad? Yeah, I think a Palpitoad. On occasion, their cries are sublimely pleasing to the ear. Palpitoad with larger lumps on their bodies can sing with a wider range of sounds. I wonder if there's an extra evolution, and the more bumps they have leads to a better, not a better, but their next evolution. Alright, next we have a Crystal Cave. Once during each player's turn, that player may heal 30 damage from each of their Metal Pokémon and Dragon Pokémon. Alright, next we have a Braviary. Yeah, that's what I think it is. Because this Pokemon is hot-headed and belligerent, it's Coronite that's taken the role of transportation in Galar. Alright, next we have Gordy. I don't recognize him. Yeah, I don't recognize him. Look at the top 7 cards of your deck. You may reveal any number of energy cards you find there and put them into your hand. Shuffle the other cards back into your deck. Alright, next we have a Spirit Mass. Kind of creepy. If the Pokemon this card is attached to is in the active spot and is damaged by an attack from your opponent's Pokemon, even if it is knocked out, your opponent discards a card from their hand. Huh. But do they have to... Well, I guess if they have terrible cards, it's good for them. But if they have good cards, they have to figure out the weakest one. Alright, next we have a Dream Ball. I think I got this one from Ball Guy in the game. Maybe. You can play this card only if you took it as a face-down prize card before you put it into your hand. Search your deck for a Pokemon and put it onto your bench, then shuffle your deck. Maybe not as useful in the card game. Alright, next we have a Pyroar. The temperature of its breath is over 10,000 degrees Fahrenheit. Pyroar doesn't use it on its prey. This Pokemon prefers to eat raw meat. Alright, next we have a Herdier? Herdier, maybe. I'm terrible with English anyways. It has been living with people for so long that trails of it can be found on the walls of caves from long, long ago. Alright, next we have a Skiploon. I believe this is like a flower seed, or the next evolution of a flower seed. It spreads its petals to absorb sunlight. It also floats in the air to get closer to the sun. Alright, next we have a Iskew. It is a penguin with a block of ice as a head, or on its head. I cannot decide. This Pokemon keeps its heat-sensitive head cool with ice. It fishes for food, dangling its single hair into the sea to lure prey. So they just shape the ice to look like their heads. And have... That's interesting. But also they're in the Arctic. Why are they getting damage? From, I guess, the sun, maybe? I don't get it. Alright, next we have a Nuzleaf. There we go. They live in holes bored in large trees. The sound of Nuzleaf's grass flute fills listeners with dread. Is it kind of like in some, like almost like Rumpelstiltskin? You would hate to hear him coming. Alright, next we have another Nuzleaf. This card feels thicker. Okay, I think it's just a thicker card. Alright, next we have Crushing Gloves. The attacks of this card is attached to do 30 more damage to your opponent's active metal Pokemon before applying weaknesses and resistance. Kind of gives me Wolverine vibes, but I know they're kind of like brass knuckles, I think. Yeah, they look like brass knuckles. Well, like they'd be used similar to brass knuckles. Alright, next we have another Crystal Cave. Next we have a Larion, I think. It loves iron ore. Groups of them fight for territory by bashing one another with their steel bodies. Alright, next we have Goat. They inhabit mountainous regions. The leader of the herd is decided by a battle of clashing horns. This one also feels slightly thicker. Can't tell. Oh well. So this one that I picked up is a Alolan Graveler. Kind of hard to see, but there's a bunch of electricity. Aren't they usually like fighting Pokemon? Maybe. I forget. Its preferred food is Dravite. After it's eaten this mineral, crystals form inside the Pokemon, rising to the surface of part of its body. So can you mine it? 'Cause that'd be cool. Alright, next we have a Thwackey, I think. I think that's Thwackey. The faster a Thwackey can beat out a rhythm with its two sticks, the more respect it wins from its peers. Okay. But yeah, that sounds about right. Alright, next we have Energy Search. Search a deck for a basic energy card, reveal it, and put it into your hand. Then shuffle your deck. Alright, next we have a Drone Rotom. Looks interesting. It looks yellow on the screen, but it kind of looks greenish in my hand. I'm not sure what color it's supposed to be. Your opponent reveals their hand. They do not look at the top card of your opponent's deck. Wait. Your opponent reveals their hand. If they do, look at the top card of your opponent's deck. Right. I thought I saw something on the card. Oh well. So next we have another Luxio. Yeah, I'm pretty sure we've read this one before. If not today, we've definitely read it before. Alright, next we have a Shelgon. Shelgon lives deep within caves. It stays shut up in its hard shell, dreaming of the day it will be able to fly. So sweet. Alright, next we have a Ursaring. Although it has a large body, it is quite skilled at climbing trees. It eats and sleeps in the treetops. Alright, next we have Turfield Stadium. So I definitely remember this from Shield. I think it's the second? Either the first or second gym. I don't remember. Once during each player's turn, that player may search their deck for an evolution grass Pokémon, reveal it, and put it into their hand. Then that player shuffles their deck. Alright, next I have another Cramorant. Eating a fish whole, I suppose. Cramorant's gluttony led it to try to swallow an Arcuda whole, which in turn led Cramorant getting an Arcuda stuck in its throat. Yeah, that sounds about right. Alright, next we have an aromatic grass energy. As long as this card is attached to a Pokemon, it provides grass energy. The grass Pokemon this card is attached to recovers from all special conditions and can't be affected by any special conditions. Cool. Alright, next we have a tool scraper. It looks like a wrench. Choose up to 2 Pokemon tools attached to Pokemon, yours or your opponent's, and discard them. I mean, if you want to get rid of your opponent's stuff, that's very useful. Alright, next we have another rusted shield. Nope, rusted sword. I cannot speak. Ignore me. Alright, next we have Nessa. Also remember her. She was actually really fun. So I usually do water Pokemon anyways. I always do a water starter. But yeah, no, she was fun to face. Put up to 4 in any combination of water Pokemon and water energy cards from your discard pile in your hand. That's actually really helpful. Alright, next we have an electric. Kind of looks like a leech. These Pokemon have a big appetite. When they spot their prey, they attack it and paralyze it with electricity. Alright, next we have a Rockruff, the bestest boy. Wait, it has a bug on its hind leg. I don't think I've ever noticed that looking at this card before. When it rubs the rocks on its neck against you, it's proof of its love for you. However, the rocks are sharp, so the gesture is quite painful. You deal with it. Alright, next we have Magnemite. Also, I don't think I've ever seen this type of card before. Is this like an older? Yeah. So this one says 2020, and I believe a couple of the other ones say like 2021. This one says 2016. Maybe. This must have been what the older cards looked like. Almost a decade old at this point. It moves while constantly hovering. It discharges Thunder Wave and so on from the units at its side. Alright, next we have a Cufant. It digs up the ground with its trunk. It's also very strong, be able to carry loads of over 5 tons without any problems at all. Right, next we have a Lassifleur. Probably not how you're supposed to pronounce it. It whirls around in the wind while singing a joyous song. This delightful display has charmed many into raising this Pokemon. Alright, next we have Turfield Stadium again. Next, ooh, a Beedrill. Love Beedrill. May appear in a swarm, flies at violent speeds, all the while stabbing with the toxic stinger on its rear. Sounds like a wasp. Alright, next we have a Great Ball. Ooh, let's see if we get a third ball for Ball Guy. Look at the top 7 cards of your deck. You may reveal a Pokemon you find there and put it into your hand. Shuffle the other cards back into your deck. Alright, next we have a Sharpedo with the evil aura red eye. It drinks in seawater and jets it from its rear to propel itself. It's very sensitive to the scent of blood. As in it like has a blowhole on its back? Maybe. It kind of looks that way. I don't see like a back tail. Yeah, kind of like a projectile. Huh. Alright, next we have Pokemon Center Lady, because I guess we can't have Nurse Joy. Heals 60 damage from one of your Pokemon and recovers from all special conditions. Well, the Pokemon Center Lady is always the best. Alright, next we have another Turfville Stadium. Next we have Bruno, but I don't think we're supposed to talk about him, so I might move on. Shuffle your hand into your deck, then draw 4 cards. If any of your Pokemon were knocked out during your opponent's last turn, draw 7 cards instead. Interesting. Alright, next we have Mustard, single strike style. Interesting. You can play this card only when it's the last card in your hand. Search your deck for a single strike Pokemon and put it onto your bench. Then shuffle your deck. If you search your deck in this way, draw 5 cards. So you play that 1 card, so you have 0, draw 1, shuffle, and then get 5 more. So you have 6 cards, and then you can play, I think. Yeah, I guess if you have a single strike Pokemon, you get 6 cards. If not, you get nothing. Alright, next we have a Golbat. They can suck down 10 ounces of blood in one go. They have been known to drink so much blood they can no longer fly. Alright, Gluttony. Alright, next we have another Bruno. Next we have another Gilscore. Next we have a Bruxus? Bruxish, I think. Its skin is thick enough to fend off Marini's spikes. With its robust teeth, Bruxus crunches the spikes and eats them. Do I recognize the Marini? I think so. She's like purple with the blue top crown almost, I think. Alright, next we have a Fearow. Again, don't know if I should say this is a condor or a vulture. It's gigantic though. Carrying food through Fearow's territory is dangerous. It will snatch the food away from you in a flash. So a pelican. Not a pelican. A seagull. They're all weird. Alright, next we have a level ball. So we do have enough balls for Ball Guy. Search your deck for a Pokemon with 90 HP or less, reveal it, and put it into your hand. Then shuffle your deck. So you might as well just look for a 90 HP Pokemon if you have it. Alright, next we have Swordward and Shieldbert. I'm guessing this is a sword and shield reference. I wonder. So the head, the hair, that is the sword. This guy, his hair is shaped like a shield. And I wonder if I'm supposed to know them by the end of the current game I'm playing. I think so. The coincidences are just too big. Choose a trainer card from your discard pile. Then ask your opponent if you may put it into your hand. If yes, put that card in your hand. If no, draw 3 cards. Oh, that's actually really interesting. So, like, if your opponent decides it's too powerful, they'll say no, but you get 3 extra cards. That could be anything. Or they can say yes, and you immediately get that over with. I can see how you would have to weigh those options. Alright, next we have another Sharpedo. Next we have a Draloke. If I remember correctly, this is the Caretaker one? Yes, it is. It's capable of flying faster than 120 miles per hour. It battles alongside Droopy and dotes on them until they successfully evolve. Alright, next we have another Electric. It still looks like a leech. Doesn't look like anything else. These Pokemon have a big appetite. When they spot their prey, they attack it and paralyze it with electricity. I forgot if that was the same description or not, so I just said it. Alright, next we have a Swanna. Kind of reminds me of a blue-footed booby, kind of though. Swannas start to dance at dusk. The one dancing in the middle is the leader of the flock. Like midsummer. Alright, next we have a Gloom. Its pistols exude an incredibly foul odor. The horrid stench can cause fainting at a distance of 1.25 miles. Yeah, that just sounds awful. Ooh, I used to go to school at a vet college. Sometimes during the summer, you can just smell the cows. And like, you would just smell cows all day, even when you were inside. It was kind of awful. Alright, next we have a fighting energy, a fire energy, a psychic energy, a metal and energy, a water energy, a dark energy, a grass energy, electricity energy, another water, dark, psychic, metal. Ooh, a hat trim. Also shiny. She looks like she's wearing a gigantic witch's hat that then turns into pigtails. She's adorable. I love her. No matter who you are, if you bring strong emotions near this Pokemon, it will silence you violently. Her smile does not say that. Alright, next we have a Scraggy. It's one that looks like it's like needing to pull its pants up all the time. Also, somewhat shiny. Probably hard to see. No, it's not shiny. I think that's just the backdrop. Oh well, I really like it. If it locks eyes with you, watch out. Nothing and no one is safe from the reckless headbutts of this troublesome Pokémon. Good thing I don't like looking people in the eye. Alright, next we have a Sableye, maybe? I can never figure out how to pronounce this one. It dwells in the darkness of caves and uses its sharp claws to dig up gems to nourish itself. Alright, next we have a Jumpluff? Okay, this is the first time I've heard of this one, but it's the evolution of Skiploom, which we have seen before. Still just looks like pollen. Jumpluff travels on seasonal winds. Once its cotton spores run out, its journey ends, as does its life. Yeah, it's just a spore. That's sad. Alright, next we have it in this packaging. So we have a Galarian Slowking V. He looks kinda creepy, but I kind of love him. And he has 220 health, which makes him even more amazing. Kinda cool. I don't know if he's supposed to be as dark looking as this, but it's really cool. I do know in Shield I should have the opportunity to, I think I have a Slowbro or a Slowpoke. I think it's Slowpoke that I can evolve possibly to a Slowking. If this is the version, I'm definitely getting this. Alright, next, and certainly not least, another package. So this is a Kirulin V? Kinda looks like an ice dragon? I have no clue what this is, but it's really cool. Its eye flashes, which is also pretty cool. Huh. But yeah, we've gotten some pretty cool Pokemon this time. It was really interesting, and we also got, I guess, the 3 types of balls that Ball Guy would give us during the game. Also, a lot of references to Sword and Shield, which I am now getting, that I just wasn't getting before, now that I am playing the game. So that's always fun. And then a new energy type of card. I wonder if there's other. So I do imagine there's the same thing for that type, for across the different types, but I wonder if there's like even more different types of types, if that makes sense. I'm not sure. And also, I wonder why this is like the first of that one style we got. Whether, because it is older, and whether those are more so collector's editions. Thing was the Magmite. I do wonder why that was the first one of that shape we got. But it was interesting. But yeah, I will see you guys later, where we will have another set of cards and we will have even more fun discovering and mispronouncing words. Because let's be honest, that's what I'm doing most of the time, mispronouncing words. So everyone, oh gosh, see? Everyone like and subscribe if you would like to see more of this content. Also, my social medias are down below, as well as ways you can support me. And I will see you guys later. Bye.